Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to our open ceremony for Palm Springs Unified. Oh, mine's it's on. It's green. Oh, a little bit. All right. Yes. Can you hear me well? There we are. Okay. We'll do this again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Palm Springs Unified School Board meeting, our regular meeting tonight, August 13, 2024. Can I get a call to order and roll call?
Board Member Irvin?
Here.
Board Member Espericueta?
Here.
Board Clerk Cornett?
Here.
And Board President Jarrell?
Here. Okay, so with that, we'll ask. Is that okay, Will? All right. We'll fix it. We'll work on that. We'll ask if there's anyone in the audience that requires a headset for Spanish translation, please raise your hand and a device will be provided to you. And then our superintendent will repeat that.
Si alguien en el público, you hear me okay? Got that, Will? Yes, you hear that? Si alguien en el público necesita, I'm sorry? He's working on it. Si alguien en el público necesita audífonos, por favor avísenos y se los vamos a proveer.
Okay, thank you. So next, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Board Clerk Cornett will lead us in the pledge.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And next in our agenda, we continue with our mission statement. And we'll have Board Member Espericueta start with our mission statement in Spanish.
¿En Spanish?
Yes, please.
Todos los miembros del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Palm Springs están unidos en nuestro compromiso con la equidad. Creamos oportunidades de aprendizaje profundas y significativas. Creamos profesionalismo e involucramos a los padres y a la comunidad para garantizar el éxito de todos los estudiantes. Todos los estudiantes se gradúan con las habilidades, capacidades y confianza necesaria para tener éxito en un mundo en cambio rápido.
Thank you so much. Next, Board Clerk Cornett will read the mission statement in English.
All members of Palm Springs Unified School District are united in our commitment to equity. We create deep, meaningful learning opportunities, build professionalism, and engage parents and community to ensure success for all students. All students graduate with the skills, capacities, and confidence needed to succeed in a rapidly changing world.
Thank you. Next, we will honor our land acknowledgement being read by Mr. Espericueta.
And land acknowledgement. The Palm Springs Unified School District acknowledged that Cahuila as the original steward of the land on which the Palm Springs Unified School District facility now sits. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work with the indigenous people in this place. We pay our respect to the Cahuila people past, present, and emerging who have been here since time immemorial.
Thank you both. Next, number 8, the approval of agenda. Item 8. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I skipped 7. I crossed it off. First, we'll go back to 7 and then go ahead. After that, there's a report of closed session actions. Clerk Cornett, are there any closed session actions to report?
There are no closed session items to report.
All right. Okay, public comments. Clerk Cornett, have we received any electronic comments?
We have not received any electronic comments.
Thank you. So now at this time, we'll ask any members of the public here if they'd like to speak to the board or address the board. We invite you to fill out a yellow card, and we're still open to taking cards if there's anyone that's interested. Okay, seeing that there's none, we'll proceed with number 10, our presentation. Educational Department Services, and Dr. Kovacs will introduce our speaker.
Yes, this evening, the focus of our Educational Services update will be on our Expanded Learning Opportunities program. And our director, Amber Gascoigne, will be reviewing the previous year, 23-24, and sharing what's going to be happening in 24-25 moving forward. Please do.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Test.
Can you try yours?
Check. Check. Test 1, test 2, test 1, test 2, test 1, test 2, test 1, test. Check. Test 1, test 2.
Hello.
Testing. Can we get, oh, here we go. Perfect.
Now, our educational services update this afternoon is focused on our expanded learning opportunity programs. Dr. Amber Gascoigne, our director, will be providing information, kind of a recap of 23-24, and then sharing information about what will be happening moving forward in 24-25. Thank you, Amber.
We'll see how this goes. Will? All right. So let the fun begin. Thank you for having me. As Simone said, I'm going to go through what we did last year and then go into what our plans are for this coming school year. But before we start, I just want to take the opportunity to express how grateful I am that we've had the opportunity to provide these programs to our students and to our families. And when we finished winter camp, we surveyed our summer camp. We surveyed our families, asking them to provide any feedback that they wanted to give us, and just asking them about their experience in general. And I want to share with you one of the quotes from our family. So I'll let you take a couple seconds to read through that. Our students are with us for 181 days in the classroom, but our students are ours every day, all day, 365 days of the year. And I'm grateful to have the opportunity to provide these experiences for our students outside of the instructional calendar. And our goal is to really tie our programs together. So we want our kids to feel that this is a cohesive program. And I think that our families are being able to see that. And we are a great district. We offer our kids so many opportunities and so many amazing experiences. And so I am going to jump into everything that we provided for them this last year. We do intervention and enrichment across all of the school sites. So teachers have the opportunity to sign up to provide those programs. So you'll see from our numbers, the intervention started at 447 students in the fall, and then moved into 431 students in the winter. And then by the time spring rolls around with testing and all of that, we see that drop off. But our enrichment programs held strong throughout the year. So we had over 1,600 students participating in the fall, just over 1,500 students in the winter, and then about 1,100 students participating in the spring. And in addition to what we do at the school sites, we're also providing those hub opportunities for our students, which includes dance with Nickerson Rossi, Tools for Tomorrow, our cooking club, Moxie Box Art, and our newest addition last year, which was Alevo Sports. And those hubs move from one area to another. So we have our Cathedral City hub, we have our Desert Hot Springs hub, and then we have our Palm Springs hub. So every 8 weeks, those programs are moving. So we've got a few things going on all year long in our sites. And I think that this has really provided our families with year-round opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise. And it's, I think, been an effective model for our district because our students can't often afford to do these extra opportunities, or the location also becomes an issue. We don't necessarily see programs being offered in Desert Hot Springs. And so this is giving all of our students equal access to those programs. Our other big undertaking has been our camps. In the winter program, we ran it out of 3 school sites, so we choose the middle schools. And we were able to have about 700 students attend each day. That included 4 days of camp, and then a day, which included a day at Aziz Farms for snow day. And then we also had an additional day out at Acrisure Arena for the Firebirds hockey game, where we had about 500 of our students come out and enjoy that as well. When we went into spring break, we increased our sites to 4. We had about 900 students attending each day, We went on some different field trips, and then our big piece, in addition to the spring camp this past year, was our Kidchella family event, which was held at Aziz Farms on that following Saturday after camp. And we had just over 500 kids that came out, and each student that attended was able to bring one family member as well. And it was just a great experience. Some of you were able to attend, and it was just a nice opportunity for our families to be out, seeing what their kids are experiencing, and just have a good day. And then this last program that we finished up in June was our summer enrichment camp, and we had all 5 of the middle school sites operating. We had just over 1,400 students attending throughout the camp, so that was our attendance each day. We provided 13 days of instruction, so we're doing language arts, we're doing math, we're doing science, we're doing art, we're having additional enrichment, plus we also have these opportunities with various field trips that you can see up on the screen. Again, it was just a great way for the kids to start their summer. There's still that academic component. We're still using all of the instructional strategies that we have here during the school year, but we're also providing those hands-on experiences and getting them out of the desert a little bit as well. In addition to what we do with enrichment and intervention, we also partner with Think Together to provide our after-school care. So on the screen, you see some of the numbers from our programs last year. Our ACES funds cover about 1,241 students. We also include that expansion piece to allow for our TK and K students to attend, in addition to additional 1st through 5th grade students who go above that ACES number. And then we also provide our middle school students with ACES programming after school, but the additional ELOP funds cover students to attend before school. So we're getting about 350 kids between our middle schools coming in the mornings. And then Think Together also partners with us to provide the additional time that's needed for those 9 hours during our non-instructional days. And our newest addition last year with Think Together was we were able to obtain the Assets Grant through 21st Century Learning, and that's being held at Desert Hot Springs High School. And they've done a phenomenal job at building the program there with their lead, Fiona. And we have about 139 students that were attending by the end of the year, and we fully anticipate that number to go up this year with additional offerings. And along the side there, just a couple of other things. We've also recognized and heard our students and families saying that sometimes if their kids in Think Together, it's hard for them to participate in some of those other after-school offerings. So we've partnered with Alevo as well as our cooking club to not just offer programs to our students that are not in Think Together, but to double that and also offer those offerings to the students in Think Together as well. So it's giving us even more students that are able to participate. And then we've also added LVNs and medical assistants to work with Think Together to fully support all of our students who have additional needs. So what's coming? We're already in 24-25, but here is kind of the plan moving forward this year. We will be providing that same opportunity for teachers to do intervention. That'll be going out hopefully this week for teachers to start signing up. Now that they've had a week and a half of time with their kids, they can start looking at data, and we'll be focusing on math or language arts. And we'll be really pulling those kids that fall into that intervention or urgent intervention level on their STAR test. We'll also be offering teachers the opportunity to sign up for enrichment. Any teacher is able to participate from elementary and middle schools. We'll do 8-week cycles, and then at that end of that 8 weeks, teachers would have the ability to sign up for another cycle if they'd like to. And we encourage the teachers to offer to at least one grade level at their site and not necessarily do just the students in their class, but to continue building relationships beyond their school or beyond their classroom. And a piece that we're adding this year is I've worked with ETIS to track program participation and synergy so that we can start pulling more data about who is participating in our various programs. Right now we have attendance sheets, but it's not giving us some of that deeper data that would be helpful in knowing what we can do moving forward. And then we will continue offering our hubs through the various cities. We'll still do the cooking, the dance, the art, and all of those pieces. Our hope is to add in some new offerings this year. One of our biggest hits at camp has been gymnastics. So our hope is to bring gymnastics into the mix, especially for our littlest kids. Looking at various music programs, ballet folklorico, basketball, theater, just different things that will appeal to different students. And we will also be providing our camps just as we have in the past. We're doing a little bit of adjusting, seeing where our numbers have fallen in the past 2 years and how we keep increasing, especially in our kindergarten and first grade classes. So we're going to make some adjustments to allow for additional lower grade classes at each of the sites. We will continue to do various field trips, getting kids out and about, whether it's in our valley or whether it's outside, to just see and experience different places and different things. We will be doing a hockey game, so mark your calendar, January 11th. You can come with us. We'll be doing, hopefully, Kidchella, and then really just working to build our programs even stronger. I've met with Dr. Dimmick, looking at how we can integrate our CTE kids, our AVID kids, bringing them in to help support during camp. Our goal is to also fully immerse the expanded learning programs in with ESY so that we have truly inclusive programs throughout the year for our students to participate. And then next summer, we will also be working to develop a DI portion within our summer camp as well, so that students who are participating in elementary DI can have a little bit of extra support to maintain that growth during the school year. And our biggest change this year has been switching from varsity tutors over to Carnegie. Varsity, we weren't seeing on the admin side of things, we just weren't feeling that we were getting the data that we needed. And so we wanted to make sure that what we're providing our families is top quality. And so Carnegie.
So with the Carnegie tutoring, is that in person or is it online as well?
It is still online, but they have face-to-face. So it's similar to varsity in that they see their tutor and they interact on a face-to-face experience.
And so this information has went out through Parent Square? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And they're doing enrollment all year. So even if you're not feeling that your child needs tutoring right now, there's cohorts starting throughout the year to provide supports no matter when your child may need something.
And so it's how many days are they allowed, or how many days do they get throughout the year for
They
tutoring?
could tutor the whole year if they so choose. Every cohort is 10 weeks. So they'll get 10 weeks of tutoring, and then if they choose to start again, then they would start in a following cohort.
Okay.
Did you have some question? Oh, I just wanted to ask, Amber, could you explain the assets grant, exactly
Yes.
what you can use that for?
So the 21st Century Learning Grant is a piece that was applied for a couple of years ago, and it's specifically set up for high schools in areas of need. And it runs very similar to an ACES program where there's the enrichment piece, there's the homework support piece. The difference with assets is that they allow the kids to really help build the programs. So Fiona has surveyed the kids, asked them what types of programs they're looking for. So we've dabbled in doing driver's ed. A great piece that we're starting this year is we have a local barber in Desert Hot Springs who has jumped on board, and we have ordered chairs, we have ordered mannequins, and so he is actually going to be providing services for the students in the program to actually learn how to be a barber, and we'll also be allowing the students to participate hopefully as an intern at his business as well. So it's really about taking what the kids are looking for and really creating programs on our own. We cannot. So the grant funding only pertains to Desert Hot Springs High School students. It is. It's been fun to build. They do have a very stringent attendance policy, so how you maintain the funding is all through attendance, which we struggled with last year, but Fiona's done a great job of building capacity at the end of last year, and so we look forward to being able to maintain that funding. You're welcome.
Okay, so I have a few questions because I love all the great things you're doing, and I just want to know a few more details.
Of course.
So in the 8-week cycles, what is the teacher-student ratio as they're working for intervention?
So we asked the teachers for intervention to be at 8 students. We asked them to put 8 on their roster and have 8 that are committed to it, because we know that not every week 8 students are going to be in attendance. But we also don't want it to just be a teacher sitting with 1 kid each week, knowing that we have so many students who are in need of that extra support.
And those teachers are have prior training to present letters or whatever program will help them increase their reading?
If they've participated in the letters training, absolutely. We don't dictate that they have to do the letters training, but they certainly are using district curriculum to guide their intervention services.
Is there a pre and post test so we see that students have made growth in fluency or in comprehension or, a focus goal for
We actually administer the STAR. So we use the beginning of the year STAR test data for this fall session. And then at the end of their 8-week cycle, we ask them to administer that STAR test one more time. And then as the year progresses, depending on where their session falls, we ask them to either administer the STAR test before they start, depending on how long it's been, and then do it again at the end so that we have constant and up-to-date data.
Okay, so you mentioned that our students who are extended school year students, they have access to every single opportunity as much as possible in the expanded learning program, right?
Yes. So right now, ESY during the summer is a separate program from our camps, but I'm working with Noel, and we're hoping to get clearance from the powers that be to allow us to combine our programs and run a truly inclusive program, because we see the value in our students being able to participate in all of those enrichment opportunities as well, because they're coming during winter and spring camp. So we want them to be able to do that during the summer as well, and not have to have parents choose a program, but rather to be able to participate in the programs.
Excellent, excellent. Then, I really was excited to hear you talk about gymnastics,
Yes.
because we're going to host the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. So I was thinking that you would probably be so innovative and include like breakdancing, pickleball, badminton, ping pong, and not, of course, synchronized swimming, but you would, I know.
Guillermo's
right?
offered up his pull at CCHS,
Mhm.
so don't underestimate us. We might get synchronized swimming going.
Yeah, but I really am excited that you're expanding your ideas, and then maybe you'll target some of those events where our kids someday might even, participate in those.
Funny enough, my team has actually talked about how could we take kids to the Olympics, given that it's so close. So
Yeah.
if the funding is still here, you might be seeing us in our Olympic gear.
I'm excited. The other thing is, I know that you have all these amazing opportunities, and that if we just continue to keep the lens on literacy and real-life math, those two, for us, is really going to knock it out of the park.
So all of our language arts lessons are developed by my TOSAs. So they do everything, and then and they are focused on that. We integrate UFly, we integrate letters, so we put all of that within our lessons. And then our math is all based on the instructional strategies used during high impact as well as Irvine math. So everything is hands-on. We don't do worksheets, we don't use technology, we don't do computers. Literally, the kids are engaged with one another throughout the time. We have embedded Kagan into everything as well, so they can't help but talk to one another and be doing the math or the work and not just doing it on a computer.
Thank you. I appreciate all your answers.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else that maybe had something? Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
We come and join our programs. Come out and see them.
I wouldn't mind going to the Olympics. I'll volunteer for the Olympics.
Okay. So, thank you for your presentation, Educational Services Department. Next, we're looking at 10B in the California School Dashboard and our local indicators, TAMO addendum for PSUSD. And Dr. Kovatz, again, will introduce our speaker.
Yes, so our Director of State and Federal Programs, Dr. Jim Pfeffer, will be presenting our teaching assignment monitoring outcomes for PSUSD and Cielo Vista Charter, which is a new requirement, and he will explain all of that, of course.
Yes, thank you very much, and good evening, Board of Education. As already stated, this is an addendum to our local indicators piece. On or around July the 17th, the CD released what's referred to as the TAMO report, Teacher Assignment Monitoring Outcomes Report. We'll touch on what that means momentarily. And as part of that, we come back and show that data. Back in the end of June, as part of LCAP adoption, we walked through a full comprehensive local indicators presentation through each area. And as part of local indicator 1, we had a conversation around the fact that some data was shifting from being locally reported to being state reported. This is that data. And so as part of that late release from the CDE, part of those directions were at the next available meeting, which is today, to present that information to you to cap off the LCAP adoption process with the local indicators. So all of our same items as it relates to local indicators still apply. We're not going to go through all of those areas again today because we've already done that. But the key pieces are to make sure that we've checked all the boxes to say that we've met all the requirements, we've presented them all in public, and to have everything posted in time for the dashboard. So as part of AB 1219, the California Commissioner on Teacher Credentialing was required to begin posting teacher monitoring outcome data by collecting data through both the CalPAD system, which has been pretty long lasting, and what then was the new CalSAS system, the California State Assignment Accountability System. This is where a lot of teacher data is uploaded through human resources in order to speak to credentialing, their assignments, making sure that the proper locations are in place. Now, the 22-23 school year data is what was released in July. Note that I am saying that we're a full school year even past that data release. We'll always be a year in arrears as part of this data presentation on the current schedule. And so starting this year, that 22-23 data will appear on the dashboard, going into next year, 23-24, and so on. So it'll always be about a year behind the rest of the data that we're posting. So as part of that, there's some definitions that are shown in that data set. We've given you a brief list of them here that speaks to the different columns and categories that assignment review can be done. The categories can be achieved by any number of different things, different assignment types, different types of emergency credentials, some sort of authorization pieces. There's many different ways that the teacher assignments, when you put together the CalPADS data and the CalSAS data, land in the different columns. And so to present those data points to you at this point, we have both Palm Springs Unified's data and Cielo Vista's data up here. I've also included the Riverside County data to give you some comparison as well as the statewide numbers. And these can both be found on the CDE Data Quest site. We've provided the links on slide 5 here so that you can go to that report and filter by various things if you'd like to do so. In essence, our numbers are relatively consistent with those that are at both the county and the state level, which is good to see. We do have a little bit of variation in some categories, but for the most part, our clear credential numbers are right around that state average, only 0.3 off of the state average. And so each one of those categories speaks a little bit to some different stories. For instance, it could be that we have some things that are general education limited assignments or special education limited assignment credentials that contribute to some of these categories. You see those in our out of field components. Some of those short-term waivers also apply there, just as different examples. I wanted to pause here. I know the board's had an opportunity to preview this ahead of tonight's meeting and see if there were any initial questions as to the data that's shown here on the slide. So again, this is 22-23 data. We're talking, now 2 full school years behind. 23-24 should be out and available for when we do the full local indicator presentation in June of next year. But again, we'll always be working a year behind as part of this on the current schedule. So with that presentation of the data, that checks all the boxes for the LCAP. We can finally fully confirm that everything has been presented to you at this point. We have already submitted this data to the web portal for access to the dashboard, so everything should go through swimmingly for us to be able to say we've met all local indicators for the 23-24 year. That's all for that presentation. This might be a record for me standing at the podium here at a board meeting. Are there any questions from the board at this point?
Thank you.
I have a quick question.
Yes,
This data is from the whole school district.
Yes.
Is there a way to see by site, by the school or not?
Yes, absolutely. If you'll use the link on slide 5 and go to the district data, you're able to change the filters and go to each school level. We can probably provide that link in a Friday just to make it a little bit quicker to get to, but you're able to see that distribution across all of those. It's all publicly posted and publicly available. So we can certainly provide you that link.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Do you see more indicators coming down the way in the state?
It's interesting. There's
LCAP?
always
I
conversations.
shouldn't ask that.
Yeah, it's a dangerous question to ask. We do know that on the dashboard for this next fall, science will be making its first appearance. They're finalizing those formats. In fact, there's a webinar later this week that should provide some more information on that. It won't be held fully for accountability quite yet, but they're going to be starting to move into that. So that'll become a focal point. There is conversation around modifying the college career indicator, conversations about doing some other adjustments. We're going to wait a little bit and see how some of that conversation falls out before we dive too far into those weeds. But there's always discussion about what else should or should not be included in accountability. Certainly. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
With comments, and we'll just go this way. Is that okay for you? Then we don't have to guess. All right. Board Member Irvin, we'll start with our board comments.
Okay, so I on August the 5th, I went to Welcome Back at Palm Springs High School at the Richard Center. It's always great to see teachers and have that experience and look at the administration and look how excited they are about the new beginning to a new year and hear about all our administrators and all the wonderful things. One of the things that I thought was amazing there was the young girls singing Moana, me having a little young child. I was over there singing it right along with her. So I just think it's really cool to include our students on this Welcome Back, and I hope going forward we continue to get our students involved because it's always great to see them show their talents. And then on the 7th, I went to, actually the 6th, I went to back to school. I tried to make as many as I could, but I had to make my sons, so I was at Rio Vista. Unfortunately, I didn't get to make it around to all the different schools, so I just want to say that I know they had an amazing welcome back to school. It's, like I said, it's exciting to see our kids on campus and back in school, and so that was wonderful. On the 7th was the first day of school, and I want to say welcome back to our students and any of our parents who are listening, and we're headed for a wonderful, great year. And on August the 9th, I went and visited some of our Desert Hot Springs elementaries. One happened to be Julius Corsini. I have never been to Julius Corsini before in my life, and I've been living in Palm Springs for 44 years, and so it was great to go up there and see how their campus looked. And I should be going back up there again. I also went and visited Two Bunch Palms as well. I've been there before, but it was also a great school, wonderful experience. Another school I went and visited was Rancho Mirage Elementary School, another school I've never been to in my life. So it was a great experience to go there. They have a wonderful view of the mountains, and it's just peaceful and beautiful on that campus. And that concludes my comments.
Good evening, everyone. This meeting is special for me because in my report I had information was the end of the year in July 10th. That was the summer graduation. That was the last graduation of the year. A small amount of students, but big support of the community. Was a full room. And also I was start looking the faces of the all school district teachers or the principal employees feel looking more relaxing because the summer vacation was almost there. Also in July 18, I attended in the convention center in Palm Springs the joint city council Palm Springs City Council and Agua Caliente Tribal. It was good information for us. Madonna had a good speech representing the school district. Thank you, Madonna. Charlie was there. And also, and in July 30, I had a good meeting with Tony. Thank you, Tony. We had a long meeting. Tony was a busy day, but we don't keep the timing. We extend the conversation for too long. Thank you. He gave me a lot of information about the new school year plans. And in the same day, I had the English learning program, Get Ready for School, and in the Family Center. Was a good program or good event because they had also a lot of good attendance, and they have different presentation covering the transportation option, security, and parent square, how to use the system, parent view, and different program in the school district. Was good, very well organized event. I was also spent time in Pan Desert with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce to support one of the new business there, and was good, to be involved also in different organization or that support the community in different ways. And I don't have the opportunity to attend the Welcome Back to School event this year, but I want to recognize everyone for the hard job that they do and the wonderful impact in the whole student of the Palm Springs School District. Thank you. That's it.
I just want to say thank you to our secondary staff for providing students with the opportunity for a summer graduation. That's really, really nice, and it's really, I think, very welcome by students and their families. So to recognize those students who put in 12 years of lots of hard work. So thank you to secondary staff. Also, I was able to go to the Welcome Back events. It was wonderful. Thank you to Will Carr and his team, and to David Green for all of your hard work on it, and to everybody else up here in the superintendent's office. And also to, it was really, really wonderful to see students MC the program. It was really something. I've been to many of them over the years, and I think this was probably one of the best ones. It was just really fabulous to see them all perform and do such an outstanding job of emceeing. So I really hope that during the school year we'll see a lot more of our student talent, but I'm sure we will. Thanks.
Okay, so appreciation to my fellow board members, and I'll just piggyback a little bit on what they started out. This is a giving district, and if you look at the news and Joan's segments and all of the media, we're seeing people giving shoes, giving backpacks, giving kids materials, giving students smiles because they're bright balloons in front of the school, making it look like a palace as you enter. And so our kids are being given the opportunity to be welcomed, not just with the doors open, but with cheerleaders and songs and music and appreciation, because all these little things make a difference. And it is the little things that count. And so I want to tell you, I'm watching the news at least twice a day and not even knowing Palm Springs Unified is there. And we're showing up, and we're proud to be doing more, doing something different, being innovative. Amber, thinking outside the box, bringing kids there or bringing the people in. It's just an amazing district. So sure, it's everything that's going on here in our valley is all centered around kids in Palm Springs Unified School District. So with my board members, we were together at the Welcome Backs. We did give away backpacks with Chad Mays and Thousand Palms. We were together as much as we can. We try to represent the district and get involved. And you'll see us as best we can meeting in your schools and attending your events. And appreciation to everyone that contributes to this all giving all year. It's just amazing. I just want to give a shout out to there's two students that were really moved me, and one is Kaoa Rapoya. He's the Desert Sun preseason Elite 11. He's a receiver running back from Rancho Mirage High School. So he's an athlete to watch. And then there was this young student from Agua Caliente, and she spoke not only in English but in Spanish and explained why she was so excited to be back to school. So with her enthusiasm and her sincere, answers, she really, really inspired me. And that was the theme of the back to school sessions this past month. And we have welcomed back hundreds of teachers, new teachers, our teachers. And what's wonderful is it's like a reunion. Everybody comes back and they're so glad to see each other, and they look across the auditoriums to find each other. And it's really wonderful camaraderie. One last thing is appreciation to Channel 3 News and the H&N Francis Berger Foundation for the $20,000 gift grant for the shoes, or for the foundation, and helping us make progress in that. So this has been a wonderful start. I am so fortunate to work and participate and grow along in this district. Thank you.
Want me to jump on it? Okay.
Now we'll allow our superintendent to continue with his comments.
Okay. Thank you, President Terrell. Well, I do have a few comments. I do apologize for a little bit of redundancy because I am going to touch on a couple of things that the board has already mentioned. But before I do that, I do want to extend my congratulations to Mr. Espericueta, to President Terrell. The window for submissions for this coming elections for the seats has come and gone, and with zero opposition, which I think is a big tribute to what the message and your leadership in your trustee area. So congratulations, and excited to have you continue on as outstanding board members. So thank you much, both of you. So congratulations to you. A couple of things. First, welcome, relative to the welcome back. Yes, on Monday, August 5th, we did welcome back all of our teachers, leadership, and classified personnel at the Richard Center. And as everybody mentioned, it was a wonderful event led by our PSUSD honor singers. And that was indeed their debut event. For those of you who may not know, the honor singers are a cross-section of student performers from each of our high schools, and they did an outstanding job, especially only being together for 1 week. So excited to see what we're going to be able to do with them in the future. Overall, the message of inspiration, inspiring students to achieve and succeed, and not letting any situation or circumstance define their destiny, came across very, very strongly, thanks to our honor singers, but as well as I want to recognize our outstanding executive cabinet that helped deliver that message. Dr. Kovach, Mr. Simmons, and Mr. Hill. Also, President Jarrell and PSTA President Karen Johnson, I also want to thank you for your very kind and inspiring words to the entire audience, as well as the board support in being there. Additionally, I also want to recognize Mr. David Green and his team, as well as Mr. Carr and his ETIS team, Erica Barragan and Monica Borrego. Indeed, I agree. It was a remarkable event, and thank you so much for all of your efforts. Start of the school year. I also want to comment on that a little bit. Yes, August 7th, we got everything up and going. The day started off with great media coverage at Agua Caliente. Later on, our cabinet team visited every campus, and as I shared in a message to the entire district, the energy we witnessed was nothing short of exceptional. Our students and families were bursting with enthusiasm. Everybody was greeting them with big smiles, open hearts, and fun activities. And so I know that starting a school year is never an easy task. It requires a lot of planning, organization, and effort from everyone. But that is why I'm so grateful to our entire PSUSD family. They did a great job in making this opening day a huge success. And also want to thank Joan Boyko and Marianne Bouchot. They arranged for all the media coverage and our social media presence, which was absolutely amazing. And last but not least, I just want to send a message to all our parents and families that may be watching or tuning in later. Now that we're in full swing, I really want to emphasize the importance of teacher connections. In other words, I really want to encourage all students and families to make it their school, first of all, attendance. First of all, encourage all of them to make it their personal goal to be at school every single day. All of our staff are prepared to provide every kid with outstanding learning experiences. But the only way we can help our kids successfully maximize that experience is by being at school. So please make it your family goal to be at school 100% of the year. Also, speaking of the connection, I want to encourage parents to take advantage of the start of the school year to establish strong communication with your child's teachers. Start off by attending back to school nights and get to know the teacher and the principal, but then keep in touch with the teachers on a regular basis. I guarantee that regular and consistent communication with the teacher will result in positive outcomes for your children. So that is my little memo there for all the parents and get everybody started for the school year. But again, I just want to say great start. So thankful to everyone within our PSUSD family, our entire board, executive cabinet, everybody here. You are all, when we use that word inspiration, truly mean it. Everybody is a true inspiration. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Madonna,
Yes.
can I say something quickly?
Of course.
So quickly, I don't think you maybe watched the news, but today, Jordan Johnson, also from Palm Springs High School, was number 8 for the Elite 11 in some of the athletes. So Palm Springs has 2 athletes in the Elite 11 for football.
Good. We'll be watching them. Thank you both. And thank you again for all your work, Cabinet and Superintendent Signoret. It was a tremendous start. Okay, with that, we'll move on to board action items, number 13. And 13A is the approval of certificated and classified employee transactions, OE 4.4. And Mr. Clayton Hill will introduce our new appointment.
All right, good evening, Board President and esteemed members of the board. We're very pleased to recommend Dr. Teresa Haga as the new Director of Classified Human Resources. Dr. Haga will continue to serve as the principal at Rancho Mirage High School, in addition to assuming some director duties as we work to find the best fit for the student, staff, and community at Rancho Mirage High School. Dr. Haga earned her Bachelor of Science and Master of Arts from Southern Oregon University in Ashland, Oregon. She's gone on to complete her doctoral degree in educational leadership with the University of Phoenix in 2017. Dr. Haga began her career with Palm Springs Unified in 1999 as a science teacher at Palm Springs High School. In 2013, she became an assistant principal at Rancho Mirage High School and then transitioned to the principal seat in 2017. Mr. Mark Arnold, Executive Director of Student Learning for Palm Springs, stated, Dr. Haga is a leader who communicates clearly, calmly, and consistently, and with quiet confidence. She leads by example and earns the respect due to her exemplary work ethic. We're confident that Dr. Haga will be an outstanding addition to the Human Resources Department. We're excited to bring her on board to work with our classified staff members and our labor partners, Teamsters Local 911. Congratulations, Dr. Haga. Is there anything you would like to share with the board and anyone that you would like to recognize this evening?
Thank you very much, Board and Cabinet, for this opportunity to continue to serve Palm Springs Unified in a larger capacity for the entire district. I would also like to thank my family, my husband who's here tonight, and our children who are watching from their various homes, and to my staff and administrative team who've been super supportive. And Rancho Mirage will always hold a special place in my heart, but I'm looking forward to this next adventure. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Dr. Haga. Next, we'll move on to our 13B, the approval of bubbling wells. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to vote. Can I get a motion on the following employment agreement with Teresa Haga, Director of Classified Human Resources? Classified confidential management salary schedule range 42, step 9, effective date to be announced. Can I get a motion, please?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, now 13B, the approval, I'm sorry, we need to apply, yay! All right.
We also, did we approve the certificated?
No, we,
13A?
did I miss 13A?
We need to do 13A, right?
Did I? We'll wait till they go, and then we'll go back. Yeah, that's separate? That was just her.
I think we have to do. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we'll return to 13A to approve the remaining portion of our approval of certificated and classified employee transactions, OE 4.4. So can I get a motion to approve that?
Move for approval?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, now we're on track. We're going to 13B, the approval of Bubbling Wells Modernization Project, Option 3, OE 12.13. And Mr. Jeff Simmons will provide our summary and update.
Okay, so you might remember from the study session on facilities that we discussed different ways to modernize bubbling wells. There was 3 different options. Tonight we'll be asking the board to make a decision for option 3. That's Cabinet's recommendation. And it seemed like that was the best option coming out of the study session. Just a reminder that this is just for design purposes, so we can get the architect going on the design. The construction will happen once the 2024 bond Measure S is voted upon. That will certainly support the construction of this modernization project, but we do need to get the design going. So you might remember that option 1 was about $67 million. It was going to take, what, 5 years approximately. It was going to replace existing portables with new and permanent buildings and expand some of the modular classrooms, light and major modernizations of some of the existing buildings, some ADA upgrades. Option 2 was $75 million. It added in some existing parking lot work and some bus drop-off reconfiguration. But option 3 was basically a new permanent rebuild. So they were going to be doing new permanent buildings, over 52,000 square feet of new buildings, and then about 13,000 square feet of just heavy modernization. It's going to also include the new permanent buildings, new hard courts and unique play structures, new outdoor learning and landscape areas, and that one was about $90 million, and it was for only 3 years. So some of the benefits of option 3 were it meets the ADA requirements and program requirements. It's the shortest construction schedule. It maximizes supervision of the campus because you won't have the level changes as much. There's going to be heavy grading in it. That's one of the challenges. Better connections between programs because of that grading situation. Less money on interim housing. We won't be needing interim housing for that particular project because they'll build the new building and then move people into the new building. So, and then less campus disruption because they'll be working pretty much off campus, so the schools still continue on. Updated infrastructure and then customization of current pedagogy. So there's going to be a large amount of grading and a higher construction cost, but we felt like that was the best option to move forward with, and that's what we're asking the board to approve so we can get going with the design.
Do you have any questions?
So just to be clear, you're saying that the between the 2 and 3 options, the reason why you're referring to the new construction is because of the time that it would take to build it?
One is time, the other is the permanent building aspect of it. They're essentially building the that new permanent building sort of, I guess, off campus, if you will, in an area that's not used right now, so they'll be able to continue on with their program. It's less disruptive, it's a shorter time period, and the money value that it was between the 75 million option 2 and 90 million option 3, considering what you're getting for that money, seemed to be a lot better, because those other two options you had to bring in interim housing, so that's almost this high expense of just temporary housing that's eventually going to go away. So they're using that basically that money to put into the new construction. But over 52,000 square feet of new buildings, as opposed to option 2 was 30,000. New construction was only 28,000 square feet. So just about double that. So
And so, just for the public purpose, also, can you give us the time period between the two of the options? Do you know how long it would be for option 2 versus how long it is for option 3?
Yeah, option 1 was 58 months, option 2 was 62 months, and option 3 was 36 months.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And, I have a quick question, Jeff. Also, the option 1 and 2 will require a more, upgrade in the future, maybe in the short future, comparing with the new construction. A new construction will be good for longer.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, you're pretty much dealing with the existing footprint. Some of the buildings would be replaced, but most of the buildings would just be expanded a little bit. The modular buildings would be expanded a little bit to match the square foot requirements that we have. But it's just doing a lot of modernizations to the existing buildings, as opposed to pretty much rebuilding most of the campus with the option 3. And taking care of some of those grading situations that campus has. Okay, so it's our recommendation that you approve option 3.
Just curious. So for the next projects, is this a trend that we're looking to go in a direction as a district when it comes up where it's time to remodel? We're looking to be more new construction, or are we going to take, or is it just going to be as it comes, we'll just kind of look at the situation and assess it?
I think it's a little bit of both. The board quite some time ago made it very clear to the facilities department that you wanted all the modulars and portables replaced with new permanent buildings. So you have that situation of trying to do that, but it depends on what the campus, what kind of shape the campus and the buildings are in. That particular one, because of the grading situations and the shape of the buildings, we're recommending new construction with that one. But some of the other ones, maybe not. It'll just be more modernizing some of the buildings, just like we're doing at Workman. We built a whole new building there, but then the second phase of that is going to be just modernizing the classrooms and using the existing space, but modernizing everything. So.
And do we have any other schools that are coming up in the pipeline? I think it's some more on this agenda, right?
I'm not sure if it was on this one or not, but we got schools like finishing up Cathedral City High School, taking care of VDM. I believe that's the next one on the list after Bubbling Wells. We also have Cielo Vista to do, and we continue down based on age. Mm-hmm. So we might be asking the board if there's a couple schools that are close in age to kind of pick which one we do next, if you will. Mm-hmm. But we felt like Bubbling Wells was the next one in need, and obviously those two other schools I mentioned have some pretty big needs as well.
Okay, thank you.
Board Member Urban, if you like, we could resend the facilities report. I know it's been a while. Mm-hmm. The one that we did several months ago, actually.
What, the study session presentation?
Yeah, just resend that. We could just resend that in the Friday letter.
Yeah, this one that's attached to this is specific to Bubbling Wells, but we can send that up.
And just for a heads up, Superintendent, I'm just kind of asking the question so the public can hear a little bit of it. So I kind of know some of it, but just
gotcha.
Just kind of making sure. Yeah,
understood.
Thank you.
Understood.
Any other questions? Okay. Okay, so this is 13B, and we are approving Bubbling Wells Modernization Project Option 3 OE-20 12.13. Can I get a motion to approve 13?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. All right. Next, 13C, the approval of agreement number C0005074, the Grant Program Services Agreement and Think Together for the 2024-25 after-school ACES program for transitional kinder students OE 6.2. Can I get a motion to approve 13C?
Move for approval.
Second.
Are there any questions? Okay, with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. Moving to 13D, the approval of agreement number C0005075, Grant Program Services Agreement with Think Together for the 2024-25 After-School ACES program for TK through 5th grade students, OE 6.2. Can I get a motion to approve 13D?
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. We look to 13E to approve to amend contract number C0003796 with First Student Incorporated, OE 6.3. First Student being our transportation services. Can I get a motion to approve item 13E?
I move for approval.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, 13F is approval of another change order number 1 with Bernard's Construction Incorporated for the Landa Elementary School Modernization Project, interim housing. Agreement number C000478838, which is OE 12.14. Can I get a motion to approve 13F?
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, are there any questions?
No, just to say this is a reduction in costs, right?
Yeah.
Not an increase.
No, this is an actual reduction as well. So
see that.
unlike the last one where it was a reduction, but we had to spend it somewhere else.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. 13G, the approval of change order number 1 with Bernard's Construction Incorporated for the Sunny Sands Elementary School Modernization Project, interim housing. Agreement number C0004737, which is OE 12.14. Can I get a motion to approve item 13G?
I move for approval.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Another reduction.
Another
They save
reduction.
more money.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. We're looking at 13H, the approval of change order number 1 with West Coast Air Conditioning Company for the Della S. Lindley Elementary School Modernization Interim Housing Agreement number C0004768, which is OE 12.13. Can I get a motion to approve 13H?
Vote for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Another reduction.
Another reduction.
Here we go. Item 13I is an approval of a rejection of claim number for 2024-2025, claim number -01, Kathleen Lautenroth versus PSUSD 641196, which is OE-7. Can I get a motion to approve 13I?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, with one vote, we are looking at 13J and 13K. Is that correct? Yes. The approval of the readmission of expulsion case 2022-2023-007 to Palm Springs Unified School District, and approval of a readmission of expulsion case 2023-2024-016 to Palm Springs Unified School District. So with one vote, can I get a motion?
Move for approval?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Okay, board members, we're looking at 14, superintendent's consent items, which are 14A through 14H. And A is the approval of a purchase order report, OE 6.2. B is the approval of agreements under 10,000. C is the agreements of $10,000 or more in other contracts. D is the approval of a new job description as CTE teacher for public services. E, the approval of a new job description for CTE arts media entertainment teacher. F, approval to file the notice of completion with Bernard's Construction for Land Elementary School Modernization Project. Approval to file, which is 14G, the notice of completion with Bernard's Construction for Sunny Sands Elementary School Modernization Project. And 14H, the approval to file the notice of completion with the West Coast Air Conditioning Company for the Della S. Lindley School Modernization Housing Project. These are superintendent consent items 14A through 14H. Would anyone like to pull an item for discussion or review or revisit any of these items?
Just a quick question. Where is that art and media entertainment? What school is that going to be at?
That's going to be at Cielo Vista.
Right on. That's it. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. With that, we'll go ahead. Can I get a motion to approve superintendent consent items 14A through 14H?
Move for approval.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 15 is board consent item approval of meeting minutes for July 9th, 2024. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
I move the motion.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, 16 is information, and we see 16A is the first reading of district calendars looking ahead for 2025-26, 26-27 school years. 16B, early Head Start and Head Start reports per requirements for the Head Start Act. And then 16C, an ECE roadmap. So those are information, and the board has received and reviewed this information. And so with that, we have any suggestions for future agendas or topics, board members?
No.
No, Charlie? Mr. Speriqueta? No. So I just had a question about our gifted and talented program, our GATE programs, and maybe we could get information about those and how they work, and are they still in our schools, and how is that going? Yes?
Yes, and just President Charles, just to make sure to clarify, just a general
Yes.
status of what these programs are, and
Yeah.
provide that on a Friday. Is that what you're looking for?
Right. And
Okay.
what assessment tools are they using? Remember, it was an assessment tool that was there for a long time. So, just wondering, is there criteria, and are parents involved in the gifted and talented programs? Yes.
Okay. Absolutely.
And then another question would be, I met a teacher from Minnesota, and she's related, and she teaches financial literacy in the high school. And it's really well received by the students, and the parents were saying, I wish we had this. Are we, I know we have requirements coming from the state to provide financial literacy, and I'm excited. And are we thinking about even bringing it down to lower student levels or anything to unroll, so we do that early on? I just wondered if there was any thought or discussion. You all are doing a lot of work, and just wondering.
We'll share information of Friday regarding planning and next steps for that, as I'm looking at Dr. Killian and
Good, good, good. And then, I don't know about the board, but tonight we didn't have our award for our student and our parent. And I was wondering if the board might be interested in including a community member too, a community partner, and that maybe the board could recommend a community partner to not include in our awards each board meeting. So something to think about.
Okay.
All right? That's just adding one more idea.
To get back to the financial literacy, that's going to be in the 25-26 school year? Is that when it, or is it, when does it go into effect?
Dr. Killian, 25, 26, or yes, so we don't have a final date on when we need to implement that yet.
Okay, but it's, okay. But we're going to be offering a financial literacy class in, not this year, but the next year after?
Well, it depends on when we need to begin implementing for the grad requirement.
It's a state.
State.
I hope we're first.
Oh, we're first.
We always like to be top of the line and ahead of
We
everyone.
will share our plans
So I hope we're first.
on the Friday for you.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll look forward to that. All right. With that, we're looking at setting of the next board meeting, our regular meeting, August 27th, 2024 at 6 o'clock p.m. And that last we come to a debrief. Any final comments? I think that it's my really important duty to thank our sign language interpreters. I know Bill is gone. Thank you, Martin. And then everyone back in the booth, technology, everyone translating again, our cabinet. We remember the people that take care of us and appreciate you, and security and everyone here. Thank you, everyone. Good night. And can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Test. Test.
Do we have to turn off the stream?